We come back from the intermission and Sportsnet continues to figure out worse and worse ways to utilize AI. This is rough.
What the hell is even that?
In some ways, they made this easy on me. I thought that as long as the Montreal Canadiens came out playing like they did in the first game, they would find success, even though it was pretty obvious that the Carolina Hurricane weren't playing their style of game. Well, I knew that tonight we were in for a better showing from Carolina, but I didn't anticipate a much worse showing from the Montreal Canadiens. Let's talk about it.
Wink, 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 wink.
A win for the Montreal Canadiens tonight would have been huge. Going back home up by 2, but it's kind of rare that at this stage of the game, you go home with 2 wins on the road. That's why everyone is talking about Colorado like they're already post-mortem. Still, there's part of me that thought that Montreal is cooking right now. Maybe if they get the saves, maybe if they do well on their special teams, and maybe if Mr. Saturday Night appears, we could witness another upsetting loss for the Carolina Hurricanes. But things rarely go as they are planned. Just like the growth on this channel, I never expected this amount of growth in my first 2 years doing this. I've been creating content on YouTube for a long time, but since switching over to hockey content, I mean, the community is incredible. The response has been amazing. I can't thank you guys enough. If you're not already part of this community, why not hit that subscribe button? Love to have you. We are on our march to 30,000 subscribers. Can you help me get there? So let's talk about this game. Let's recap it. First, we start with the starting lineup, la formation de départ. Nos attaquants, our forwards, Caulfield, Suzuki, Slavkovsky, Newhook, Evans, Demidov, Texier, Deneau, Anderson, Bolduc, Kapanen, Doc. Nos défenseurs, our defensemen, Matheson, Dobson, Struble, Hudson, Gouli, Carrier, et nos gardiens, our goalies tonight, Dobes, minding the net, Fowler, backing them up. Yeah, I don't know if I should start opinionating right now before I get into the recap, but man, reading down that lineup, yeah, there's certain players on there that I didn't like their games. So, la première période commence, et Carolina, they're going to get a good chance early. Tone of the game definitely shifted already right from the start. Carolina is here to show that they have more to give than what they did in the first game. And a few minutes into the game, not 1 minute into the game, the few minutes in, Carolina opens up scoring.
Slavin moving up. Back to Jankowski. Up high. Left to right.
Robinson, you get what? 1-0. You're kidding me. Off a tip off a flutter puck just slowly crawls past Dobes, who committed just maybe like a second too early here to stop the puck. Rough one, but you got to burn that first goal. You got to allow your opponent to get that first goal in order to really play your game. That's what I was thinking at this point anyway. Carolina still keeps pushing. They're scrambling in front. Dobes is able to keep them at bay, however. And then Montreal gives Fetch enough time behind the net to write a novel. So he decides to do the Michigan, but can't execute. Now Gouli draws a penalty. Montreal will get a chance at the power play. How is it going to look tonight? It looks real bad. Power play, can't find the zone. Carolina getting shorthanded zone time. So far, everything's almost like completely different than the first game. But Montreal will punch back.
The chance, pass in front, Anderson scores! Josh Anderson Anderson
makes it 1-1. Taylor Hall tries to clear the puck here. Great keep by Gouli, who then assertively drives to the net, creates panic. Anderson flips it in past Anderson. Anderson. 1-1. The game is tied. So I said that I thought Matheson needed more help than Carrier. It would be good to give him Dobson. Now I'm questioning that because I don't think that Dobson is even 80%. I think he could have like a nagging injury from before the hand thing because tonight Matheson and Dobson just looked miserable. I don't usually say this, and yeah, I guess in the NHL amongst players, to say this, you really have to mean it, but they looked soft. All stick for Dobson. The physical play is not there. If you were putting Dobson on to help Matheson with the physical aspect of the game, just put Carrier back. Very disappointed in this. I thought this would be a real solution. It's definitely not. Svechnikov now gives Hudson a shot. Struble gets behind Svechnikov, gives him a big ol' hug, arm around the neck. Svech flops, and the officials bite. Hook, line, and sinker. They decide to send Struble to the box. Svechnikov gets off. I thought for sure this was roughing plus embellishment. This can't be a call in the playoffs. But Montreal does get away with a couple later on in the game. And on the power play, Svechnikov boards Anderson. So he's going to go to the box, negating the power play. And then Montreal will get like a minute 30 of their own power play. But this power play is somehow worse than the first. We see Suzuki soft on the puck, turns it over, then Slav passes the puck to Carolina to dish up a tasty 2-on-1. Yikes. That's going to do it for the first period. Low event period, Montreal gets like what, 2 shots on goal? Carolina 7 shots. Is this going to be another 9-shot game? Something worth mentioning though is it's crazy that it was 1-1 despite Montreal playing this like poorly in the first period. I'll give Carolina their credit. They came out with more jump in their step, but to me this does not look like the same amount of effort that Montreal exhibited in the first game. We come back from the intermission and Sportsnet continues to figure out worse and worse ways to utilize AI. This is rough.
What the hell is even that?
I mean, nothing is going to beat the Suzuki AI rendering of his family and what they could look like in an alternate universe. But this was just kind of a head scratch. Why did they feel compelled? Why did they thought like people would enjoy this? So the second period starts. Montreal still on the power play for a few seconds here. Unfortunately, they almost allow Svech to get jailbroke, but Dobes with a good poke of the stick. And now something I haven't seen quite like before. Dobes getting a stick caught inside his pads. He has to wrestle it out. We've been seeing some wardrobe malfunctions in these playoffs, and they'll actually continue later on in this game. Texier now with a great chance in front, but Anderson is able to get a piece of it. Montreal at this point not maintaining zone control. They're not putting shots on net. And for me, I don't think that this is because Carolina is playing particularly well. I just think that Montreal's not executing. Then Dobes interferes with the play, takes a stupid penalty. Thought this was a little soft, honestly, but it's blatant, so of course they're going to call it. Montreal does kill that penalty, but the Carolina Hurricane will strike again.
Play away. And now Ehlers is in.
Ehlers 2-1. Now, they'll say that Hudson had good coverage here. I mean, yeah, he was on his guy, but for me, I would have loved to have seen some physical contact. Am I wrong about that? Are we a little bit too easy when criticizing Hudson? Either way, I think Dobes should have had this. It leaks in 5-hole, but a deceitful shot from Ehlers here. 2-1 for the Canes. Suzuki gets a nice chance in the dying seconds, but manages to whiff on it, and then Texier takes an awful penalty, putting his stick up into Miller's groin. Cup check. Can't be doing that, Texier. So that's going to do it for 2 periods. Montreal, how many shots did they get on net this period? Definitely a talking point of the game. First period, 2 shots. Second period, they've improved, 3 shots. They're trending to have less shots in that Tampa Bay game where they clinched it. Let's see what they can do in the third period. Hopefully a little bit more energy. So they start the third. Montreal needs to come back to tie it, but first they have to kill off Texier's penalty. On the Texier power play, Jarvis, incredible backdoor feed, but Dobes just gets over in time for a blocker save. Really close one here. Another thing that was painfully obvious this game that wasn't a problem in the first game, Carolina sustaining good zone time on the power play or otherwise. Montreal having a difficult time keeping Carolina from attacking when they're shorthanded. That's a problem. So Montreal will find their 6th shot of the game when Evans has a brilliant opportunity in the slot, but Anderson finds the puck. Then we see Dobes again, save of the year candidate maybe? We didn't get an alternate angle for this because they did a promotion for whatever sponsor. But yeah, it just robs Jarvis here. And here's where the other wardrobe malfunction occurred. Svech gets the puck stuck in his shinny, between his shinny and his skate. They have to stop play because of this. So you're watching this, you're getting pretty worried that Montreal's not even going to be able to get a couple more shots on net, but they would tie it up.
Line to no, right side, Anderson. to the middle, slid off his stick, loose in front, the jam away, and score!
Anderson having himself a game. He ties it up. This was a mad push towards the net. Anderson finds the loose puck and buries it. The garbage that was left in front of Anderson. 9th shot of the game. It's looking like they're gonna get 10 shots at least, and they will get more than 9 shots on goal. Newhook now pouring it on. They've got double digits in shots. Anderson thought he was beat here. Back over to Matheson and Dobson, showing their ineffectiveness again, just having the most difficult time clearing the puck out of their zone. Stahl gets the puck in front. Matheson is on Stahl, but he's just content to allow him to take a shot. Mind-boggling stuff here. And before the buzzer, Suzuki puts one on net, gets behind Anderson, but that's already regulation time. 60 minutes weren't good enough. We're headed to OT, where...
But Chatfield prevented it from going deep. Back in, a chance.
Yeah, Nikolai Ehlers would call the game with his second of the game, 3-2. The puck was turned over here by Kapanen, you really wish that Dobson would have showed a little bit more urgency here. He gave Ehlers like a lot of angles for Dobes, who was also like way too far out of his net. Thing with Ehlers is he's got speed and he's got a hell of a shot. So he took this opportunity and he doesn't make a mistake. He buries it. Series tied at 1. Rough game to watch for them to lose playing like they did. I thought it probably made it harder, but probably a deserved loss. Let's hope they can pack it up, go home, and perform a little bit better at home, which is, yeah, it's been rough lately. But in a way, I'm not worried. This was among their worst games of the playoffs so far. So I get saying, yeah, Carolina picked up their socks and they played a lot better this game. And this is the type of game that Carolina likes to play. They like to suffocate you, allow as few shots as possible, but there was just too much sloppiness. And nobody, except for Anderson, looked like they wanted to be the hero, really. No hard drives towards the net. No picking off defenders and pushing hard to win battles. Yeah, I didn't think it was their best effort, but I don't know. I could be wrong. What do you think about the game? Do you think that Montreal provided the amount of urgency they needed to in this one? Do you think Carolina just overwhelmed them and they're in their bag? They're playing the way that they want to? Let me know in the comments, but that's going to do it for me. I got to head to bed. Another big day tomorrow. I will do another video. I could do a video tomorrow. I'm not quite sure, but certainly Monday. Oh, I wanted to mention, Struble got like 10 minutes, over 10 minutes this game. Kapanen didn't play a good game. I would be surprised if Struble went out, although a lot of people are asking for it. I think that if Montreal started to play a much stronger physical game, it might put Carolina a little bit into chaos mode, which could be good for the Canadiens. In terms of Kapanen, yeah, I could see him rotating out for Veleno. I also wouldn't hate to see Gallagher home game, but those 6 or 7 minutes that he gives, they have to be huge, right? Anyway, okay, that's it. You guys know what to do. Hit the like button, helps me out with, I don't know, probably something good. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I would love to have you. And as always, I will see you down in the comments.